Okay, there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listeners and non listeners. Today, the whatever episode it is issues forth from the Jowls of Justice with Droopy McGobbler. Now, I think I'm still working on a standard disclaimer here. Stupid camera. Stupid camera. See, this is why I need to become, more important and more famous, so I can have, tech support people to work on this sort of stuff. Bloody. Oh yeah. Speaking of bloody, I have learned that as we're applying for FCC approval, and our archived shows ought to be compliant, I have to go with British exclamations, oaths, by what it means in Britain, right? And the same with Australia, right? And so on and so forth. So, right, that means that it is my responsibility to go through my archived shows, right, and edit them. So, since I'm going to have to listen to this again anyway, although the next time you listen to it, it will be edited. So anybody who's not listening, let me tell you right now, you're missing out. So that means that although by the ranking given by the BBC in a file distributed called What Not to Swear, typical dry British humor, no. The ranking of how offensive words are before and after the watershed says that basically I can say bugger, I can say bloody, I can even say bollocks, right? However, I cannot say wanker. That will have to be edited out. If I make a disparaging comment about somebody, whether we have them in the United States or not, such as the Australian word abo, that will have to be cut out. So will wog. At any rate, though, look forward to more terms from all around the world that you will only get to hear once, and only between now and August. Now, let me also say that other people have been, recommending to me sometimes that I use notes, right, rather than not. So, I have taken that advice into account, right, and written some and brought them. However, I deliberately brought crappy notes. I would, at this point, for those who are watching at least, and I would describe it to those who are listening, throw my notes over my shoulder, right, or into the air, as they frequently do on these sorts of shows. However, I have my notes on my $600 cell phone, which if any thieves or robbers are listening, my $20 cell phone. So I'm not going to throw that. And let me also give what is about to be, what is developing into a standard disclaimer that Droopy McGobbler is a semi-fictional character. In fact, the fellow who plays Droopy McGobbler, that is to say me, is also a semi-fictional character. Now, this means that most of what I say, you don't know if it's completely true, based on a true story as much as a Hollywood movie is, or completely fabricated from whole cloth. Don't try to guess which, and especially don't try to determine scientifically by doing all these things and seeing if the same thing happens to you. Also, the things I say are not reflective of my opinions or ideas in any way, nor those of anybody else, probably, in the entire world. In fact, if they're reflective of your opinions and ideas, then you're pretty sick. Or maybe I'm kidding, right? Because remember, you're not supposed to be able to tell. So keep that in mind. For instance, Droopy has returned a little bit to his addiction of moving, appropriating, requisitioning, construction barricades. Shoot, I'll have to beep that stealing too, and the other one I just said. And If any kids are listening, barricades are city property and should remain at the officially placed construction sites. So our DPW public servants can do their work safely. All right. And let's see, what else have I got? Well, who cares? I was going to throw my notes over my shoulder anyway. So, let's talk about the giant cannoli effect that I mentioned last time. No, I don't want to talk about that. Because you know what? This was going to be a political show. Except the first time I was on, I didn't watch the news that morning, or particularly care, so I just talked. And that's a better format anyway. Because even if you guys want me to shut up, there's nobody here to tell me to. There's no other participant in the conversation. Speaking of which, where are we here? We have a call-in line, and there we go. The number is 414-935-2951. And anybody is welcome to call in and say anything. The only requirement that I have is that you refrain from swearing. And I used, up until recently, so all except the last show, I lived with a trucker who was formerly a sailor and a mechanic who is and always was a redneck. And if I cannot swear on the radio, so can you. But feel free to call in, 414-935-2951. I'll even put you on the air if I feel like it. And be aware, I may call you randomly from this number and inform you that you're on the radio. So if you're not listening right now, you're going to be surprised. Do you like how I address so many things to the non-listeners? That's just to so people can tell them what they missed out upon. But even though it's not a political show, you know, because I have lived in the River West area for a few years now, and in my opinion, my educated, authoritative opinion, although maybe not, remember, in my educated opinion, I find that in the summer, okay, it is marginally, all right, well, one step, okay, it is less, but is one step less dangerous than, for example, the Philippines, right? So, you know, these are important issues since you know, Wisconsin has just passed the concealed weapons permit law, as well as the Castle Doctrine. You know, I'm going to talk about defense a little bit, and if you don't like it, don't listen. But that is not reflective of my opinion. If you don't like it, keep listening. Call in and complain. Tell me I'm full of you know what, but don't say that word. 414-935-2951. Stop by the station. I might let you on. Come and say anything you want, subject to the previous restriction. And, yeah, if you don't want to be on, then stay away from the studio, from the station, because I may come out onto the street and accost you and shove a microphone in your face and inform you, again by surprise, that you're on the radio. However, you know, I'm not going to talk about concealed weapons yet, although I will say that you should definitely not have your pistol bullets machined from beryllium copper, nor should you ever attempt to dope them with pufferfish poison, tetrodotoxin, because these things are illegal and over the top and not to be done. But you know, the home defense thing. No, I will say one concealed weapon. You know what I want? A blackjack. When was the last? That is a hipster weapon. That is retro. Okay, that is uncommon. Right, that is cool. When was the last time you heard somebody say, "Oh man, you know, I was in this fight and this guy hit me with his blackjack"? Right? Probably never. When did you last hear somebody say, "Yeah, this guy, you know, gave me some trouble," right? So I pulled out my blackjack and I whacked him, right? Probably never. You know, I don't know anybody who's been hit with the blackjack except people I hit with one, but you should never hit anyone. So that would be, you know, that would be a pretty cool weapon to have You know, even nunchucks aren't quite as hipster. Everybody's got nunchucks. You know, that's like poser wannabe, right? If you're a hipster, get a blackjack. But now you've heard it on the radio, so it's mainstream. Doesn't that stink? Now you'll have to come up with something new. But at any rate, you know, the castle doctrine states that, you know, a man's home is his castle. Right? If you want to complain about the sexist language of this stuff, then call in 414-935-2951, and I might let you do so. I probably will. Nobody's ever called in before. Be the first. Be a hipster. So anyway, right? The point is that if somebody comes into your house, right, that person is presumed to have harmful intent, right? And so you are allowed to defend yourself. Now, right, my roommate is a woman who is, as I am, very skilled and knowledgeable in engineering and science, physics, mathematics. And yet, so far, she has not wanted to collaborate with me in building any of the following things. All right. And these are, by the way, real things that are buildable, probably from off-the-shelf components. Now, it depends on what shelf, right? And you should never steal things from your university's nuclear physics lab. You know, I mean, ever. Those are there for a reason, and people use them. You know, they're learning tools, right? So, at any rate, right, I want, you know, it would be nice if somebody would help me build, for instance, a neutron flux pumped nanopulse grazer, okay, or a electrolaser based positron cannon, or a shoulder carried, okay, probably in the same manner as a bazooka, wide beam proton accelerator. But it looks like I have some guests, so I'm going to have to finish this up later. I'm going to be joined by my colleagues, Waddles McFury and Saggy McPherson. Waddles, Saggy, come on up. Sit in front of mic number 1. Okay. Okay, which one are you? Saggy, say something.
Well, I'm Saggy.
Okay, get a little closer. Now say something.
I'm Saggy.
You are? Okay. And now Waddles.
Hello.
Okay, let me turn you two up a little bit. Okay, now introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Waggles McFury.
Waddles.
Waddles McFury.
And I'm Saggy McPherson.
Yep, Saggy McPherson. Okay, good. So, what have you got to say? You're on the radio.
Well, he has to say hello.
Hello.
Hey, say it however you want. What else you got? When I get a sound effects board, right, then you can do that, and I'll claim that I bumped a button with my elbow or something. He was going to make a sound that corresponds to a word you can't say on the radio that means flatulence and sounds like a whoopee cushion. So.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm gobbling pretty enthusiastically today. How about you?
Yeah, I am.
You are? That's good. Saggy?
Pretty good.
Okay, good.
And I'm pretty saggy.
All right. Oh, yeah, for those who can't see, well, I guess nobody can see because the camera's on me. I mean, trust me, her cheeks are past her armpits. They're down. You know, she sometimes has to pull them up over her head like the ear flaps of a flap hat. Like the ear flaps of one of those flap hats you Wisconsin Midwesterners, snow, Eskimo, Siberians wear. You know, just to be able to talk, right? And trust me, she has the authority and the wisdom that such jowls represent.
Awkward.
It's not awkward for me. So, what do you think about the attempt to boot the recall election to boot Scott Walker on June 5th?
I want to boot him.
Yeah, let's boot him. Saggy?
Wait, I have nothing to say.
Well,
Boot.
if he says boot him, then you should say keep him. Then you should argue.
I think we should keep him.
Why?
Because he got us less school.
All right. Saggy is in favor of less school.
I don't think that's true. For the past couple years, we still gone the same.
Ah, really?
That's
Yeah.
me.
He was only like for a year, and we've been going to the same school for like 4 years. Same 7:45 to 2:30.
Do you still have the? Is it 180 days in Wisconsin for? Oh no, yeah, that's for
June-
federal. That's for
June
federal funding. Yeah.
June 12th is our last day.
Okay. And it was always about that time.
Yeah, it usually is.
So really, he's trying to give you the same amount of school, but with less teachers.
Yeah, he's making bigger classes though, so it's a lot louder. My class is one of the loudest classes in the whole school. So
Now you're smiling. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Are you one of the loud?
sometimes, not usually though.
Do you generally? Are you generally able to hide it and blame someone else?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Now that's not illegal, so I think I can totally advocate that. Kids,
Audience wants to say something.
anybody else? No?
What?
Don't forget.
I think she's wondering how old the people are.
Well, Saggy, don't forget that now that you're on this show, you're also empowered, right, as I am, to grab that microphone and stick it in anybody's face and say, hey, you're on the radio.
He's like,
That means we can go outside.
What?
That means you can go outside and do that.
Oh, yeah, you can go outside and do it. But I don't think any of the mic cables are long enough. Otherwise, it would be great because I'd still be able to smoke cigarettes inside. Or no, I'd still be able to smoke cigarettes outside while on the radio. However, as awesome as it would be for me to be chain smoking in the studio, especially cigars, let me say, all right, they don't need, and after this one little downer thing, I'm going to go back to being, funny. They don't need those ads, right, with people with trachs and talking about emphysema and cancer and all that stuff. They don't even need those warnings on the packages. Here is why you shouldn't smoke, kids.
Yep.
Because if you start smoking now, regardless of whether you ever quit or not, you will want cigarettes every day for the rest of your life.
So
It's
don't
unlucky.
smoke.
Exactly. And now they're expensive.
Never smoke. Ever.
Anything. Except for cigars. Cigars, however,
Not that either.
are awesome.
Well, I got one in New Orleans for my grandpa a while ago. I went to New Orleans a while ago, so I was at the cigar shop looking how they make cigars and stuff, and we got my grandpa a cigar.
That's pretty cool.
He's gonna wait for me to smoke it to show me how you cut it and stuff.
That's cool. I won't show you because I don't want to promote smoking.
our grandpa speaks
you cut the
French.
You cut the top off.
Yes, you do.
And
He
then
speaks
like,
French?
Yeah, he speaks French.
yeah, he's a French interpreter. Or not? He used to teach French interpreting, I think.
Oh.
They're going to France in a little while.
They're going for a month as their anniversary.
A month.
Oh, wait, hold on. This needs to be a little closer to your grill here. Well, here, you can adjust it. You're allowed to adjust it.
Can I hold it?
Of course you can hold it.
Oh.
This is evil.
It is not.
So,
But anyhow, let me talk about the French and how much I don't like them. For instance, okay, I refer to French as that language. Freedom fries was good, but I mean they're not French; they're Belgian fries. Okay, so they are Belgian fries. I refer to French dressing, okay, as yucky red dressing. And I refer to the baguette, or French bread, as American long bread of democracy.
Bleh.
It's pronounced French dressing.
French dressing is not the best. Ranch, that's good.
And
Especially
the
homemade.
French is way more fancier than us.
Oh
No, they're
yeah,
not.
but if one thing, if there wasn't France, we might have not got the Louisiana Territory from France.
That's absolutely true.
Might have been like more expensive, or we might have fought in a war for it.
But those were the old French. They were cooler. They weren't. You know,
They were worse. French now they're better, but the old like Napoleon, he took over France in 1799,
he did.
and he declared himself emperor for life in 1802.
That's pretty cool. Not just regular emperor, emperor for life. Remember that, everyone, when I declare myself emperor. If you call me just plain emperor, you're getting sent to the Tower of London.
And they booted him off. Like they did boot him off
Twice.
twice, yeah. But what years? I don't exactly know that.
Yeah, I don't remember
It's
either.
like I think 1815 or I don't know 1815 or 1810. I don't know,
I think you're right.
around that.
And the second time he was in power for less than a year.
Yeah. So and then where did they kick him the second time?
St. Helena.
Where's that? What latitude?
Some little island. Elba, I guess, wasn't a little enough island to hold him, but I don't know.
What's your favorite football team?
The Chicago Bears.
They suck.
Can you say sucks? You can say sucks.
I bet you can.
I think you can.
All right, cool. They do not.
No.
The Packers suck.
No, the Packers, they won more championships and Super Bowls than you.
If you can't say it, I think that those people that made it are mean. You can't say suck. That would
You
be
can.
weird.
Or beep.
Or any of the beeps. But hey, anyone underage, plug your ears. Because the bastards who make these rules allow me to say bastard and call them it. Don't say bastard, kids. But anyway, it's not the Packers that I have so much against. It's the Packer fans. I'm from New York. I don't like you guys. I never cared about American football before. I rioted in England for Manchester United. That's different. And if I haven't told you about it before, I will some other time. But I never cared about American football for liking a team. Heck no. I only cared when I came here and started hating the Packers. I'm from New York. I don't like Chicago. Not as much as I hate Boston. But you know what? I like the Chicago Bears because you guys don't. Also the Vikings. Respond.
And everyone, just so you know,
forgot.
Wobbles
say.
is not a girl.
Yeah, Waddles is not a girl.
Yeah.
He may sound like it.
What?
That's not very nice. Response, Waddles?
Not at all. Not nice.
Waddles does not dignify that with a response. Sorry, Saggy. So anyway, yeah, the Bears are so much better just because they're not the Packers.
No, the Packers are better.
They're the best.
Because they've won more they've won more championships, and they like cheese.
Now look,
Cheeseheads.
now look, everybody knows that the best football team has nothing to do with the team that's best at
It's probably
football.
Steelers. People say they're Steelers, but Steelers suck. This guy in my class says they're the best. I don't think so. The Packers are.
Really? I disagree.
They've won more championships than the championships like in the before Super Bowls, and Super Bowls combined, they won more than the Steelers.
They did. But on the other hand, the Steelers are from Pittsburgh, which is also a cooler place.
Pittsburgh sucks.
You ever been there?
No, where is it? Like, what state is
ha ha ha! So it sucks,
it
does
in?
it?
It
Pittsburgh
really does, Simon.
is in Pennsylvania, on the opposite side from Philadelphia. Right. I happen to hate Philadelphia as well.
Well, that was once the U.S. capital. Before
Philadelphia?
D.C., like in the Revolutionary War, that used to be one of the United States capitals.
Absolutely, it was. That's where the Liberty Bell is. I got under the Liberty Bell when I was 6 and attempted to ring it, but a guard yelled at me, and my parents grabbed me.
If you would have broke it, It'd probably be really expensive.
Broke it. It's already broken.
I know, but if you would have made something fall off.
I don't think a 6-year-old kid can crack the Liberty Bell.
Oh, you were 6?
Yeah, I'm not Superman. Now, that's not an unreasonable question. Not about me being Superman. That's pretty unreasonable. But about me getting under the Liberty Bell when I was, for instance, 26, right? Because I totally would have, but I wasn't around Philadelphia. I also, at the same age, climbed up a giant meteorite at the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History and was similarly admonished by a guard to get off that meteorite. Which I don't think too many people have heard in their lives. That was pretty good. I got told to get off a meteorite.
Any funny things you've been doing in the past weeks?
Nope.
That's not like you.
I know, isn't it?
Not at all.
I've been a little bit busy. What can you do? Oh, but yeah, I wanted to tell you, speaking of Revolutionary War, I want to tell you guys a quick Revolutionary War story. So, as you all should know, right, although I sound like just a goofball, I happen to hold a double degree from Columbia University, right? And because of such, I will remind you that Columbia is the best of the Ivy Leagues, that Dartmouth are drunk hicks out in, where the heck is New Hampshire, for instance, that Harvard are snobs, right, that Yaleys, right, are just obnoxious and live in actually a crappy city. If you've never been to New Haven, don't bother. If you have, I'm sorry. And if you're there right now, leave. But at any rate, so Alexander Hamilton, let's see, who's on all the bills? Yeah, except for Ben Franklin, who deserves to be on the biggest bill because he was like the awesomest, one of the awesomest people ever.
What did Ben Franklin do?
Everything.
What did he? Was that the guy with the World War II or?
No, that was a guy in the Revolutionary War who was like the founding father, kind of organized the whole thing, went over to France. Yes, the French.
Oh yeah,
did.
Ben Franklin.
Very good.
Oh yeah, I remember. I learned that in school, and I learned about that.
Oh yeah, and he did great things. He, he did scientific stuff. He wrote lots of good stuff. Including a very interesting essay on the subject of flatulence, which, again, we can't go any further into. I'm not kidding. Look it up. The book is called F-A-R-T, Proudly. And like I said...
It is?
Yes, it is. I mean, he didn't call it that, but the book that contains these things... these writings of his is called...
You're in trouble.
No, because remember, like I said in the beginning, right, I have to go back and edit all these anyway before they re-air.
Oh, you have to edit it before it can go on the internet?
No, I have to edit it before it can go on the radio. Technically, I could say whatever I want.
Can it go on the radio now?
Well, maybe, except that I just spelled out a word you can't say. And I think I also have to take out wanker that I said before, and the one I just said now.
Did they, are they on the radio now, like on the real radio?
No, we will be in August, correct? Well, I don't know. But as I said, since it's my responsibility and I'll have to go through these anyway, there's a couple things that I'm going to say that I'll have to edit and you'll never hear again. It just doesn't sound the same, right, when you have to hear wanker rather than
beep.
Wanker. I've said it now 3 times to take out.
So do you know a lot about the Louisiana Purchase?
I know some about it.
Can I give you a quiz?
Oh wait, let me finish the Hamilton story. So Hamilton didn't get into Princeton, right? And he did go to Columbia. And during the Revolutionary War, which he took a couple years off, I believe, of college for, there was a battle at Princeton, and of course it sounds like, it sounds too good to be true, right? But you weren't there, and I wasn't there, so I choose to believe that, yes, he did this simply because he was resentful, and because he could. He was a general, and he ordered a cannon pointed at the steeple of like the Princeton, main building, and he fired it, and it went through the wall and destroyed a picture of Princeton's founder. So I think that's awesome. And let me give you guys in Princeton, which is in New Jersey, the worst state in the nation, which saves Wisconsin from that fate. But since it's you guys and I want to make you feel good and happy and want to listen to me, Wisconsin is the 49th best state in the nation.
49th.
You mean number 1?
Yeah, right. That's New York.
It is.
At any rate,
No, New York is number 50.
No, that is
The worst.
That is New Jersey, and everyone, including people who live in New Jersey.
That is
New York,
no,
it's so busy. There's always traffic.
No, New York is number 50. It's the last place. It's 50 in 50th place. Wisconsin is number 1, and Illinois is number 2.
I thought Delaware was.
Minnesota's 3.
No, Delaware's first.
Oh, see, that's in the what time they became states.
That's true.
What's her name?
Saggy McPherson.
I forgot my own name.
What's mine?
Waddles McFury.
Oh yeah.
At any rate, though, New Jersey's terrible. It's just the worst. And so, to to my listeners in Princeton, all right, I would like to give you a 240-year-old.
Well,
Speaking of
actually, New Jersey is 49th.
Speaking of states, my dad's in Ecuador right now.
That's not a state. That's a different country on a different continent.
It is, but it's a pretty cool country.
Yeah, he's going in the forest.
Oh, that's cool. I've never been there myself, but I want to live there.
With Blank College.
Blank College?
Can I say colleges or not?
Oh, like Alverno? Yeah, totally.
Oh, I can say Alverno.
You can say Alverno.
Oh, yeah.
I was making sure.
I don't know if I have to beep things like Coca-Cola, but...
Coca-Cola. Well, that's a soda.
Well,
a lot of people know about.
Well, yeah, and I'm not promoting it.
It's like-
right? In fact, I'm de-promoting it. I like Pepsi. Now, do
It's
I have
Coke,
to
I
beep
tell you,
that, too?
Coke.
I like both.
Ah, but do you like them mixed?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Ah, but
I
what
love Coke and Pepsi, so it'll probably have a chemical reaction next.
You know why? Another reason I don't like you guys, because in Wisconsin you don't have like the cool Mr. Pibb. There's only one place I could find Mr. Pibb. You don't have Moxie. You
What's
don't have
that?
Moxie.
What's that?
Sodas from the East. I mean the East, New York and stuff, not the East like China.
But we have
China.
every other soda, except that one and 100 more.
But you also don't have Iron Brew.
What's that like?
Which probably
It's like
has
so.
alcohol
What does
in
it taste like? What kind of soda?
It tastes like itself. There is no way to describe the taste of Iron Brew except to go to Scotland and drink it.
Scotland? Is it
Scotland!
That sounds.
Scotland?
Iron Brew sounds like a kind of alcohol.
You'd think so. but it's
Iron
not.
Are you
Brew.
allowed to say?
Iron Brew.
Are you allowed to say
Iron
alcohol?
Brew.
Yeah.
Good.
You're just not allowed to be
Iron
on the radio while you're on it. But
Oh.
that's awesome. I mean, that's awesome that they have to tell you, right? But on the other hand, it would be great to
You
grab.
can't say alcohol.
No, you can't drink alcohol or bring drunk people onto the show.
Oh, I can't speak anymore.
I know you're underage. I'll write you a ticket myself.
That's not what. Show me your ID, like your police ID or something.
You're not a policeman.
What if I'm undercover?
Well, you still have to have an ID.
Left it in my locker.
Well, then go get it.
Can't. I'm on the radio.
Well, get off the radio.
Which station?
Okay, fine. Whatever one that we're going to be broadcasting on when this re-airs.
I think you should actually get the answer right, not wrong.
Wait,
Well, I don't know what it's going to be.
what do you think the? Oh, so should we have that quiz now?
Sure, give me a quiz.
Who was the person that claimed the land in what year? And that claimed the Louisiana Territory for France in what year and when?
Louis.
Or who?
Clark.
Let's see. Was it?
Or you don't have to say the time. I'll tell you the time in a little.
Oh yeah. Speaking of time, what time is it? Yeah.
38.
Oh yeah.
5:30.
Plenty of time. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I don't know. I forget. Madison.
No, LaSalle.
Oh yeah, for the French. Duh.
Yeah, in 1682.
Oh okay. Cool. What else?
Who were the
Speaking of cheese,
Speaking of cheese, which in French is fromage.
Americans like it.
Who are the two people? Who are the two people that Jefferson sent over to buy the territory from France after they got it back?
That would be Kobe Bryant and Chinese Premier Zhao Enlai. And Lai, that is.
Are you gonna make our voices sound like we have helium in our mouths?
You already do sound like you have helium in your mouth.
Hello. Yeah, I sound like Elmo.
I'm sure. Oh,
Elmo's World.
you know, I don't even want to hear any. I don't even want to hear any Elmo because you know what, right? If you guys are in River West listening to this, okay, you know who Elmo is, and you know why I don't like Elmo.
He's a bummer.
And you know what, right? He's too young to have a lawyer for slander.
And
you
he's
know
a
what?
bore.
I don't like you, Elmo.
I mean the Sesame Street Elmo.
If you're watching this, Elmo, you're gonna get in big trouble.
I mean the Sesame Street Elmo.
Oh, okay. What about him?
I don't know.
He just talked.
There's actually a documentary about it.
About Elmo?
Yeah, it was really good actually. It was how the guy that was Elmo became him, like how he became him.
Elmo's
It was good.
cute.
It was pretty good. It was on Netflix. Wait, I don't know if I'm supposed to be.
I don't think
That's a
we're-
company.
Yeah, but what are we just not supposed to do? Promote things outright as if we were
And
paid
say
for 'em?
Coca-Cola.
You know what? There's things I like and there's things I don't like, right? Hewlett-Packard printers have great support, but they always physically break. For instance.
Probably because you get mad because they don't work.
Yeah, you probably
And you
slam
punch
them.
'em.
No, percussive maintenance does not work on electronics, only mechanical things.
What's the mechanical? What's the difference of electronics and mechanical things?
Well, electronics I'm considering to be things without moving parts, right? Such as, if you strike a computer, right, or a radio, it probably won't fix it. Whereas with a motor, right, or something that has lots of moving parts, right, if you kick it or hit it with a hammer, right, or hit it with a wrench and get told don't bend that wrench, get a bigger hammer, then it might start working, right? However, if it's not yours, don't hit it.
Well, which neighborhood do you like best in Milwaukee, River West?
I would have to say Midtown New York.
In Milwaukee.
I don't.
Anything you
You
don't like?
live in River
do you like,
West.
Do you like
you
Bayview?
don't like River West or
Of course
Bayview.
I don't like it.
You don't? Do you like Bayview's the best? I think.
Really? What do
Yeah.
you think?
It has a lot of good ice cream places.
Yeah, like there's so many
Ah.
like Babe's ice cream.
There's all these good restaurants, and there's just one.
I'm commercialing. Someone go to Babe's ice cream right now. Free ice cream. Just kidding.
Somebody, it's really.
Now that, you probably ought not to say that people have, free ice cream deals when they don't. But if they did, if any of you babes are listening, excuse me, apparently you have good ice cream, and if you give me some for free, then I can't promote you on the air, but I can sure eat it and enjoy it.
Yeah, Babe's ice cream. I actually went there last night. What did we have? Or we had this one called Heaps of Love. It was
And,
good.
like,
it
there
had
was
like everything. In it.
Oreos, caramel. Are we allowed to
Brownies,
talk about caramel on the radio?
caramel,
Yep. You're even allowed to eat it on the radio.
tasty. Okay.
In fact, you can cover your radio in caramel and eat it if you want.
What's that mean? Cover it in
That
radio?
means take your radio and melt caramel over it and eat the radio or dip it, right? Such as in the
Why
manner
would
of
you
an
eat the
apple.
radio?
I have no idea, but you sure
It
can
was
if
your
you want
idea.
to.
I don't think that's a very good idea.
Probably not. Although there is that guy who can eat darn near anything and eats like, an airplane over the course of a year or something ridiculous like
There is a
that.
kid that eats June bugs, worms, pretty much
Yeah.
any bug, and he licks the wall.
I wouldn't. I want to eat a grasshopper. If
Yeah,
you
that
give me
sounds
one,
good.
I will eat it. Come on, come
You
over
can
to
order
River
'em.
West, and if you give me one, I'll eat it right now. Come on.
You hear that, everyone? That's a challenge. And besides which, nobody's called me yet.
Dun dun dun.
Exactly. And
wah,
don't forget
wah,
the number
wah,
is 414-935-2951. In fact, hey, do you know how I make this thing work?
How?
Magic.
I don't.
A magician.
Can you make our voices really high?
I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
That'd be funny if you could.
No, it'll have to be done in post.
Hello.
Why don't you make your voices sound really high?
It's hard. If you give me some helium. Oh, actually, if you bring me a balloon
Yeah,
for a
there's a
buck, there's a huge thing of helium over there.
There's a helium tank over there.
I know.
If you give me a balloon,
I
I'll.
don't have a balloon.
Well, they do.
Well, you should get one from him.
Well, I don't have a buck.
I might have a buck.
What? I want to make my voice sound weird.
Asking for money, so
I'm
generous.
not trying to. I'm not asking to
Yeah,
keep
here.
it.
5 balloons.
Bring me that change.
I will.
Helping you 1 cent in change, probably.
Okay. Would there be balloons there?
I don't know.
Oh.
Nope. Sorry, you're not allowed.
Didn't think so.
Busted.
I know.
Busted. I don't
Yeah,
think
sorry, our Department of Standards and Practices is sitting right over there. And that one got next.
Which sucks.
We represent the Royal Order of Standards and Practices. Say not the word of curse.
Is that who talk in Ireland?
No, that's how
Hello.
they talked on that South Park episode.
Is that a park that's
No,
south?
LCS is not the best show for us to watch.
It's the best show for everybody to watch if they can get away with it.
It's all like beepity beep 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 beep.
Oh,
Beep,
absolutely.
beep, beep, beep,
Kids,
beep.
sneak that show. It's
No.
on Comedy Central.
I've actually seen it.
use tvguide.com to look up when it's on in your area.
I've actually.
Then convince your parents that there's a documentary on, let's see,
Don't you
the
think?
Yanomamo people.
Don't you
of
think
the
they'd be in the same
Amazon
room?
rainforest.
Don't you think they'd be in the room, watching it with you?
Only if they're really, really clever.
I know. Don't you think they'd be walking around like, oh, I want to watch it?
Oh yeah, with your mom, you guys will get busted.
No,
can get
actually,
away with that
I went to DC a while ago too. I drove to DC 14 hours.
You drove
No, I
for
would.
14 hours straight?
No, actually,
13 and a half.
13 and a half.
no, but it was like my dad and my dad's girlfriend kept switching.
Yeah. They
So, and one thing,
we had a DVD player, so.
yeah,
In the truck? In
yeah,
the car?
and my sister, my big sister, she really wanted to watch it when we got back, so we kind of watched it on the TV because me and my big sister got our own room. I actually think it was with
Saggy.
Saggy. I think it was with Saggy, but
Do I
I
need
think
to
she
give
was
you
asleep.
guys name tags to put in front of yourself?
Yes, I don't remember.
Hold on. Oh no, this won't work here. Whatever. Somebody give me a paper and a pencil.
I don't have a I have a pencil. No, I don't. But I have a racquetball.
A racquetball.
Yes.
Oh, cool. I can write with your racquetball on what?
I don't know.
You should go outside and throw it directly at someone.
Actually, my teacher, I brought it to school, and he threw it down the hallway today. It was funny.
His
Actually,
teacher's very funny.
He was like,
He's a very funny teacher. He has a lot of things like he has what is it
he
called?
has tons of auctions and candy, and he pays us.
They
Not
have
with
these
money,
little
but with like
tokens.
tokens.
That's
like
cool.
And one thing, we're going to Summerfest tomorrow.
They're
Oh,
gonna
really?
plant
It's already
flowers.
Summerfest? It's
No,
already
we're
Summerfest?
No,
we're
they're
planting
planting.
flowers.
Oh, you're going to the Summerfest ground.
We're going to the Summerfest grounds to plant flowers.
Ooh, hey, that means it's almost Polish Fest. I'm half Polish. I want to go to that.
Polish?
Yeah.
Where's Polish in
Poland is
Europe? I know.
close to its borders Russia, for instance, and Germany. Or does it border Russia anymore? No, it bordered the USSR. Hey, Standards and Practices Department, do you know if... wow, now I feel really embarrassed. I don't know if it
Back in
borders
the USSR.
Ukraine
How happy we are.
or
boys.
Belarus or where.
Back in the USSR.
And for the guys that are single, my sister isn't single.
What? We'll see. What? I mean, Saggy.
Yes, my name is Saggy.
That's good.
Saggy Mick.
It's not Elfie.
And yours isn't
Okay.
Flower McBud.
Flower McBud. Okay, wow, right with all of the above.
Me and his middle name is Mick.
There's so many
Mick.
more countries. That's
Back
why.
in the
Used to be-
USSR.
Used to be Germany, Czechoslovakia, and the USSR. But hey, guess what? Stuff's changed. So the borders of Poland are now with Germany still. The Czech Republic, Slovakia, Ukraine, and Belarus, Lithuania, and the Russian province of Kaliningrad Oblast. Huh? Hold on. What? Oh, yeah. Beta? Oh, yeah, he should be. Yeah, I think the guy who's on next is here. I was gonna have him on as guest, but
I think we have 10 minutes.
yeah, we got something like that. Man, I'm gonna have to save all these notes for next week. But that's okay, because that means we didn't use any of the notes this week, so I can use them for next week. Hey, that's cool. So let me just take a little time, all right, at the end here to explain to you, my listeners here. Hold on a second. Shut up, I got 4 minutes. Oh! I thought I was saying something else.
You're dead.
What did he say?
He said his phone is dead. I thought he was saying that I should be done.
Oh.
Right. To which I was going to respond with a gesture that I can't describe on the radio. But at any rate, yes. At any of the ones you're thinking, in fact. But, no, yeah, I just want to define, for those who might not know, okay, the different types of facial features, right, that signify things like authority,
Our
power,
mom's name is Pretty McGorgeous.
wisdom, gravitas, right? Now, obviously, the first are jowls. Right now, the jowls are when the cheek skin, right, don't have to be fat to have them, right? The cheek skin sags. All right, I define having jowls as either, okay, visible, all right, semicircular lines, such as, Arlen Specter, Orrin Hatch, or the actual skin hanging below, I define it below the jawbone, right, below the mandible bone, right, such as, of course, Richard Nixon, right, Ted Kennedy, right, and so on. Right, now, the next is wattles. Wattles, I don't think are that great. I don't think they symbolize that much.
Wait,
That's
what?
when you
What's he saying?
not you. But, the wattles are when the skin, right, in the front of the neck, right, not necessarily the cheeks, but when the skin in the front of the neck is all wrinkled, right, looking kind of like a turkey's wattles. Now, yes, exactly.
Everyone loves Saggy.
Oh, yeah. The next one, right, the next thing is the frequently described turkey gobbler. Okay. Now, people identify, when I think of a turkey neck, I think of wattles. Okay. But the turkey gobbler, right, also, less humorously called the neck roll, is, well, exactly what it sounds like, a double chin that goes beyond the double chin to What? Whatever. Put what? The camera? I don't feel like fooling with it. I fooled with it for like 10 minutes.
They only
before.
can see your eyes.
Well, that's fine.
I can't see that, like.
Can you see up my nose?
No, they can see up your
You
teeth.
can't even see your nose.
Well, whatever. Wow, I should put up the nose, put the camera up the nose, and then have people call in and tell me if they see any stretchies or greenies, you know, or drippies.
Or crusties.
Oh, yeah.
Can we say
crusties.
the?
Boogers? Oh, yeah, you can
I
say
didn't know.
boogers.
Because you
Everyone can say
can't, you can't
boogers.
say one word.
As long as you don't throw boogers, right?
Aww.
Or eat them, I think we're all right. But anyway, the turkey gobbler is when the double chin, right, pretty much is the entire height of the neck, right? And you can see this, you know, that often is mistakenly referred to as jowls on a fat person, right? And when such a person shakes his head, right, the gobbler may shake, you know, either further with centripetal force, right, by being loose rather than tight, or it may even shake if the person with the gobbler shakes his head vigorously enough. The gobbler may even shake in the opposite direction, right, out of sync with the head. I mean, gobblers really go with authority and stuff pretty well. Next is the bullfrog. Right.
Wow, this must be bad.
Oh yeah, the bullfrog is interesting. I didn't know about it until a friend. I always thought it was just a big gobbler. Okay, but that is when, you know, the chin almost is barely protruding, right, and the cheeks, right, gobbler area, neck, all is kind of one big shaking mass that looks like it could be inflated, right, to make a croak such as a bullfrog. And
Tom, you should probably Tom too.
what?
It's like 5'2", I think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll wrap it up. At any rate, let me just say the example
That's what you said 4 minutes
that will. The example is Chief Judge Belvin H. Perry Jr. Now, I don't know who would name. I mean, naming your kid, right, Chief Judge Belvin Perry. That's kind of a lot to live up to, but he did. And you might think, if you look at him, you might think he has a double-layered gobbler, but it's not. It's the way he sits at the bench. That's a bullfrog. Now, apparently I have to wrap up, but I would like to thank my colleagues, Saggy McPherson and Waddles McFury,
Hello.
for
You
joining
remembered
me.
our names, but
I did, for joining me today. And don't forget, I'm the one who put the Tom and Tom foolery, and I really did stage the moon landing, and I did it on Mars. Have a good week.
The Jowls of Justice.
Darn
Yes.
right.